Hey, hey. I think we're working. As always, guys. As always. I love the internet. So much fun. Well, fingers crossed you see and hear me. Too bad, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yep. So let me know if you can hear me, whether you can see me. Fingers crossed it's coming through. Yes, it is working. Good. Good. So yeah, sorry for the slight late start. Again, just due to internet. It looks like I've frozen again. Oh dear. It's going to be one of them evenings, guys. It's going to be one of them evenings. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best to muddle through. Deal with what the internet is giving us. So I hope everybody's well. Few people, well, I say few people. We've got 3 people in the stream. So thank you very much. You are the chosen few. Welcome to the chat. We'll leave it a little bit longer. Got some bits and pieces to talk about this evening. Namely the Northwest Open, which is barely a week away. I have all the lists. I have them. The power is here. I have them all here. And I'm going to talk about them. Not in detail, obviously. I will keep those players' lists secret, but I'm going to let slip on some of the units that you're likely to see a lot of. Yeah, and just a few things that I've kind of noticed. So it should be interesting. I've written down some facts and figures on some of the stuff just that might interest you. So we'll talk about that. But as I say, we'll leave it a little bit longer. See whether anyone wants to join us. Oh, we got Martin in the chat as well. He was one of the 3. That's disappointing. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that, which is interesting. Keep an eye on your wheels. My wheels? Interesting. I'm not too sure what that means. Keep an eye on your wheels. What does that mean? Any big list changes after the FAQ? Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, we've got a few people in here, so let's start the show rolling anyway before the internet decides to do nasty things to me, as it always does. And I've got a lot of painting to do as well, guys. So need to get on with that. But anyway, welcome. So thank you very much for joining us. This is Wargame Weekly, the weekly show where we talk about all things wargaming related. News, rumours, releases, you name it, tournaments, lists. We'll talk about it. And always at the end of every show, we do some questions and answers, even though I'll answer them and chat throughout the live stream. So if you're watching this afterwards and you're watching this later in the day, thanks for watching. But the fun comes from the live show. It's very hit and miss, as you'll probably see now if you're watching it back. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of kind of to and fro in the chat. And it's a good place to hang out on a Thursday evening. So do hit us up next week if you're watching this after the show. Every Thursday at 10 o'clock. I say it's 10 o'clock. Maybe not always 10 o'clock. Oh, it's a Scouser reference. Okay, of course. Watch your wheels. I'm a bit slow, obviously. So, news stuff this week. So, we've got more Space Marine goodness dropping. So, obviously, pre-release last week was the Codex and the Dreadnought, as well as the Aggressors, I believe they're called, and the funny little guys with the masks. Should know the names. maybe someone can help me in the chat. But some cool models, some cool units, and lots of news. There's been some couple of full reviews of the codexes. The one I'd recommend to go and check out would be Winters. It's a great review. You can go and check that out online. Jump over and give it a watch. And of course, if you like what you see, head over to Wargames and pick up your Space Marine goodness. That's where I've picked my goodness up, and I cannot wait to get my new Space Marine army on the table. It's looking absolutely amazing. Ravensblade painting are painting it up for me, and it's looking pretty spectacular. So there will be some Space Marines, believe it or not, in the channel in not too distant near future, something like that. What's the chat going on? There's a bit of chatting. Reavers, that's it, Reavers. Yeah, so many new marine units, and they look pretty good. So looking at their kind of rules, the great thing about just the general marine units is they're all really good, but there's nothing too disgustingly broken. They're quite nice little units. The Reavers, I don't think are that special, but they're not bad. The Aggressors seem good, lots of firepower, handy in combat, but a really well-rounded unit. So yeah, some good stuff. The magic seems to come from when you put it all together and you give them the chapter tactics, and you give them their relics and warlord traits and their new stratagems, which look really, really good. But yeah, so cool stuff. And if this is just the start, obviously we're going to have all the other codexes coming out. So everybody's going to get their moment in the sun. So if you're waiting for your army, Games Workshop have promised that it'll be coming pretty soon. So this week, I think, I don't know for certain, but I believe we'll probably get the Chaplain model, the Apothecary model, probably the big tank. Would be my guess for Space Marine release this time, and maybe we'll get one more release from Space Marines potentially before their codex is kind of ticks off the list. But also on other Games Workshop news, there is we know that the General's Handbook 2 is coming out very, very soon, which is really interesting because the General's Handbook 1 was an amazing book, and it really made Age of Sigmar what it is now. And if they can up that and make it even better, then the General's Handbook 2 is going to be an awesome book. And that brings me into the next bit of news, which is, if you like Age of Sigmar, which I do, and I think it's an absolute awesome game, and to be honest with you, it's still got me at the moment. I still probably at the moment I'm more excited about playing Age of Sigmar than I am playing 40k, which is crazy, because everyone's going nuts about 40k, but I have absolutely got that Age of Sigmar bug, and it helps that I've just come out of a tournament win as well, which always helps you kind of get excited about things. But Age of Sigmar, if you haven't played it, it's an incredible game. If you like 40k, you'll like Age of Sigmar. It's slightly simplified, it's got some different dynamics, but an incredible game. And I definitely say, if you like 40k now, you will definitely like Age of Sigmar. And I would say if you can pick up 40k, you'll definitely be able to pick it up really, really relatively easy. And on that news, Wargames are going to be doing a huge Age of Sigmar tournament. So it is going to be the Halloween weekend of I'm going to say 28th, 29th of October, which is around my birthday, so it's a good time to have a tournament. And if it's Wargames, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be, awesome terrain, awesome themed boards, and it'd be a good crack. Really well organised, great tournaments, awesome prize support. So put that one in your diary. Don't miss out on it. I am going to do everything I can to get up there. I would not want to miss it for the world. Obviously, Southport is not just down the road for me, so there are some little creases to iron up. I've got quite a busy tournament schedule for the latter part of this year and going into next year. But if I can, absolutely, I do not want to miss it. It's going to be the Age of Sigmar tournament to really kind of get involved in. So don't miss that one out. Get that in your diaries. But anyway, onwards. I'm just going to have a little look at the chat. What's going on? What chapter are you going for? Smurfs like everybody else. And their ma'am, Gilliman, is ridiculous. So, yeah, 2K matched, 100%. Well, what am I talking about? It's not my tournament. Not my not my tournament. Sorry, Martin. I suspect it would probably be around 2K matched because that tends to be the right kind of points level. But I'll leave that up to Martin and the guys from Wargames. This is very much their party, and I'm just invited to sample the cake. So anyway, back to my chapter. So I've got Gilliman in the false, but it is a custom chapter that is a successor chapter. Well, not even a successor chapter. It's a Primus Marine chapter. That's what I'm building it as. It's not going to have any standard Marines. It's just going to have all Primus Marines and vehicles. That's the plan for it. It might adapt, but that's very much the plan. Is that it'll be just Primus Marines and it'll be that type of thing. So yeah, so obviously Gilliman's there, but I actually don't necessarily want to do Ultramarines. I want to do something a bit different, and I'm really want to do something a bit different from everyone else. And I quite like the idea of the Iron Hands, because I love what Dreadnoughts do now, and I think like a massively Dreadnought heavy army with like the new whatever it's called, can't remember, it's called Repressor Dreadnought, something like that, can't remember, but the big ass Dreadnought, maybe a couple of Leviathans, you know, and some foot slogging Marines as well, will be a really different type of army. Put out a lot of firepower. There's some really cool stratagems for Iron Hands. They're a little bit more survivable. They're quick. They'll do damage. So I actually think that I probably will do Iron Hands as maybe my focus, but having a kind of like a neutral chapter means I can kind of push the army wherever I want it to go, which keeps my options open, means I can play different builds and have fun with it. And obviously I do think that the Gilliman build is the powerhouse, but I will not be getting Storm Ravens because I've never liked the model. I think it's a hideous block with wings, and I have no interest in getting that model. So I'm not going to play Storm Ravens. I do quite like some of their other flyers. I do like the new kind of fighter fly plane, and I don't even mind the little Talon. I think the Talon's quite a sweet little cool little model. But I have no interest in Ravens, no interest at all. So don't get me wrong, if it's my list, you know you're going to expect filth. That's the way I play, and so I'd expect nothing different. But I'm not just going to play Storm Ravens because I hate the models and I want my Marine army to look cool and thematic on the board. So it's more likely to be more tanks and more dreadnoughts rather than flyers, and particularly Storm Ravens. Redemptor, what a wicked model. And salamanders are very cool. Yeah, I like salamanders. Yeah, the FAQ messed up Bobby and the 5 Ravens. It did, but it's still very doable. It's still very doable. It's, you know, it's still a strong list. I think probably going all out and 5 Ravens is a little bit dangerous now, because if you come up against the wrong matchup, you're going to find yourself coming unstuck real quick. So you know that's probably not your best bet, but I still think expect to see 2 or 3 in a lot of armies. They're an incredibly powerful unit, and they're still going to do work, and they give you and they cover a lot of options. So Storm Raven's not going anywhere, and I actually even would discount the 5 Storm Raven list. You just won't see it very much. So yeah, it's a quiet night tonight, guys. It's a quiet exclusive club at the pub. But yeah, don't know. No one wants to join us tonight. It's a lonely place in the house. But anyway, we'll plod on because that is what we do. So Northwest Open. let's talk a bit about the Northwest Open. Now, first of all, I want to say there has come up a couple of tickets. So if you're watching this live, or if you're watching this, playing it back, it's not too late to potentially get in on the action. Now, we expect these tickets, these last couple of tickets that have kind of, people have decided they've, had a last minute change of heart, something's come up, they can't come. It always happens in all tournaments. We actually have a very, very small dropout rate at the Northwest Open and at the Last Chance in comparison to most tournaments. You expect generally about a 10% dropout. We don't get anywhere near that, to be fair. But we've had a couple of tickets come available. So it's not too late if you fancy, just even, if you're not a competitive player, you don't particularly want to, like bring a really powerful list, but actually you want to play 2 days of 40k, get an idea of the new system, learn it a bit more, play it a bit more. Great opportunity. Get in touch, and we can hook you up with one of the last 2 remaining tickets. It's an awesome weekend. You won't play a better couple of days of 40k. It's just a great environment, really fun place to be. Actually, Southport's a lot of a laugh in the summer as well. It's quite, it's a fun town to be in the evenings as well. So it's just a really good atmosphere, and one I would highly recommend. So if you are watching this afterwards and you want to kind of drop in, then and you're watching this before what we saying, the 4th, 5th that weekend, next weekend, something like that. Head's all gone. Get in touch and we'll see if we can hook you up with a ticket. But they will go quick, so don't hesitate if you are interested in coming to the Northwest Open. So guys, what I wanted to talk about this week is the Northwest Open, and I wanted to talk about what's coming. So and this is an interesting one because there's not that many people at the there's not many people in the chat at the moment. My computer's doing funny things, so hopefully you're still all there. It's trying to work itself out. I'll keep talking. So I'm not going to give away what's in people's lists exactly, because that would be unfair. But what I did want to talk about is some stuff that's really, really interesting. Some stuff that's that I've not kind of didn't see coming necessarily. So as I said, we've only got a restricted amount of people in the chat. There's not loads and loads of people in here. And Martin, you're not allowed in this little poll. But what do you think is the most popular unit taken for the Northwest Open? The most popular unit. What is the unit that is not being spammed? Because actually, there's not a ton of spam. But what do you think is the most popular unit? Because it surprised me actually when I looked through to see what it was. And I give you a clue. It's from the good guys. Leave it a little bit of time. There's always a bit of delay on the chat. But what unit do you think it is? And as I said, Martin, you don't get a vote. No, I didn't buy 4 Ravens from you, Martin. They were all with you last night. That's right, Martin. Land Raider. There's quite a few Land Raiders, but no. Dark Reapers. Interesting. No, not Dark Reapers. In fact, I don't think there's any Dark Reapers. Might be 1 or 2 units, but I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Swarm Lord then. No, Swarm Lord at all. Well, actually, I don't know. Are you taking Swarm Lord, Dave? I don't think you're not taking Tyranids, are you? I don't, unless I've not seen your list and Martin's not forwarded it to me. I don't think you're not taking Tyranids. Even though, yeah, I don't think you are. Well, I'll tell you guys, as I said, there's not loads and loads of people in the chat, so kind of I won't eke it out any longer. As Martin said, he bored them all to pants of live streams last night, and they're sick of them. They don't ever want to watch another one, which, I can't really blame them, to be fair. So the most popular unit is the Dreadnought, the trusty Dreadnought. But the trusty Dreadnought, particularly with two autocannons, two sets of autocannons. And it's an interesting one, really interesting. So a lot of people are taking multiple Dreadnoughts with autocannons. It is a very, very popular choice. It is in about 6 or 7 lists. Multiple Dreadnoughts with autocannons. And I think it's because they are relatively cheap and they do put out a lot of DACA. But I thought that was really, really interesting. That is the most popular unit. Crazy. So what else is there quite a lot of? So there is a lot of Inquisitors. Inquisitors are a popular choice. There is a lot of... There's a lot of troop. There's a lot of Harlequin troop. Which again is probably not too surprising. I'm going to scroll down if there's any chat. Only sent it today. So Dave, are you taking your Tyranids? I know you have Tyranids. You have Tyranids, don't you? I'm sure. Unless I'm getting confused with people, I'm pretty sure you have Tyranids. I'm kind of waiting for this response, but anyway. Predators, there's a lot of Predators, Luke, absolutely. Because again, another unit that's relatively cheap that puts out a lot of DACA. Yeah, you're not surprised. Yeah. But I was surprised. I thought just a standard Dreadnought with 2 autocannons is not a choice that I would necessarily think of. As well, I definitely wasn't a choice I would immediately think of. So yeah, I'm just trying to see whether Dave's come back to us. Necrons. Indeed. You are taking Tyranids. Man, your Tyranids are amazing. Your Tyranids are epic. That is really cool. If I'm sure that is the Dave that I know. I've seen your Tyranids many times and they are incredible. So that's really, really cool. I'm excited to see them again. It's been a long time since I've seen them. So that's wicked. Really, really cool. I'm epically excited by that. Necrons. So there is, I think, Nick, there is 2 Necron lists. 2 Necron lists. And what did surprise me about Necrons, and as I said, we're all learning 8th edition together, which is cool. You obviously don't get a lot for your points because those Necron lists are pretty damn small. Though they are, you don't get much for your points anymore with those Necrons. That's what I have found. Getting a bit of lag, am I? Okay, no worries. You might have missed me just saying how cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you are. That is awesome. That is so good. I'm like literally, sorry guys, I'm really, really excited that Dave is bringing his Tyranids because they are so cool. They are so wicked looking. And as a massive fan of Tyranids, when you see another really cool swarm, you're just excited to see him again. So I digress. That's pretty much taken me off my swing a little bit. But yes, so Necrons really, really surprised Nick. They are much more condensed in their size of their armies. So it'd be interesting to see how they do, and because obviously incredibly resilient, and their units are still very good. But you know, will they stand up in the meta that we're looking at the moment? So it's interesting. I don't know whether I'm coming across okay because my YouTube keeps crashing out. So whether that's just my browser and I'm still coming through okay, I'm not really too sure. But there you go. So they're the popular list. So if Dave is coming, he is, as far as I'm aware, the sole representative of the Tyranids, which is a sad times. Sad times. I've not seen any other Tyranid armies come through to me. As I said, I'm kind of getting a slow filter from Martin, so there may be a few more lists that I've not yet seen. But all the lists that have come through to me so far, there aren't any. So if Dave's playing Tyranids, that is the first Tyranid list. So, but yeah. So we've got, as I said, a couple of Necron lists, loads and loads and loads of Imperials, a real combination, hell of a lot of Marines. Obviously, there's loads of Guillimans. I did count up, and there's only 6 Guilliman lists. I thought there was a lot more, but there's only 6. And Storm Ravens, there's 7 Storm Ravens in all. So not massive amount of Storm Ravens either. So you can probably guess from that there are currently no 5 Storm Raven lists. In fact, there might be there might be as many as 10 Storm Ravens, but there are no 5 Storm Raven lists. I think the closest we're looking at is potentially 3. Yes, mate, you have got to represent the Hive. Absolutely. Nids are big, Nick. I don't know really, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. The thing with the Nids code, they don't have some of these kind of gimmicky tricks that some of the other codexes have. They just have real strength throughout the codex. The code or the index. The index is just a really strong index. I'm finding that you just don't spam Tyranids. You can go mass gene stealers. Very effective way of playing, 100%. Point for point, they are probably the most effective unit. But you've got so much strength in depth throughout that whole Tyranid index. I think the value is around, particularly, where you kind of plan the mission. You've got lots of different units that can do lots of things really, really effectively. And they do it really, really well, better than they ever have before. So I think a more well-rounded Tyranid list is actually not a bad thing, as long as you still take the best units from each of those type of categories. You've got a really powerful list, but it's not a gimmicky list. And I think that lack of kind of Tyranid players are so used to playing. Well, a lot of Tyranid players are used to playing just kind of spamming flyers or spamming this or spamming that, and I think that's thrown people off a little bit. Actually, I lie. There is another Tyranid player. Of course, there is. Vic is bringing Tyranids. Of course, yes, yeah, and she's got a very good list actually. To be fair, so there's 2. That's good. That's restoring my faith in Tyranids slightly. But yeah, so there's that. What have we got? We got any idea Dark Elder list? So there are 2 very, very good Dark Eldar lists. One in particular that could potentially go all the way. One Dark Eldar list that I think is phenomenally strong, and there's another one that's also pretty good as well. So yeah, Dark Eldar. It's those Dark Lances, guys. Those Dark Lances, man, they are painful. So yeah, Dark Eldar are going to be represented on the top tables, I would expect. What else have we got? So as I said, quite a few Harlequins. There's a lot of Tau. I'm going to say unfortunately, and I don't mean to upset Tau players, particularly if any are watching it or watching it back. Those Tau lists are, majority of them are, I'm not going to say it will. I know he's not watching right now, but the majority of them are the net list. So again, I'm not going to say people's lists because that's unfair. But no Razor flock spam. No, there are the Razor flocks in it, but people aren't spamming them. And Luke, you may be right. You're spot on. There's a lot of that. And you won't know, guys, because you're not watching it live. So you won't know what Luke just said. But yes. So yes, there's some very strong Tau lists. There's a couple of nice balanced tale lists as well, which I think potentially won't do that well, but they look decent, they look fun, and I think they'll look really good on the board, which is epic. And I still think they won't do badly. There's some good demon lists. They're kind of, well, a mixture of chaos and demons lists. A couple of particularly powerful ones, which will again be at the top tables, 100%. What else have we got? I have questions. Do you think most of the games will be quick? I don't think they'll be quick, and the reason why I don't think they'll be quick is I still don't think there's people have played that much, Nick. I think that the majority of people are still relatively new to the game, so I expect the games to potentially be longer than they were in 7th edition. I still think we'll get most of them finished within the 3 hours, but there's potentially they'll be longer. Um, Caledonia looked like a mass bird migration. Yeah, so what Dave's talking about is these razor flocks. So they've doubled the points now, so they're not going to be as prevalent. But they were, along with the Storm Raven spam, these razor flocks were all the thing. And people were using kind of the doves that you get from wedding cakes as their razor flocks. So yeah, it very much looked like the birds were migrating on the boards. It looks stupid, and that, I suppose, is I've talked about it a little bit before, and I'm not gonna try and down on it too much, because Games Workshop are doing their best to absolutely deal with the slight problems that we've got in the meta. But unfortunately, some of the tables look pretty damn ugly at the moment, while we're dealing with this spam. But I suppose looking at a lot of the lists for the Northwest Open, they don't look that bad at all. There's some really strong lists. There's a very competitive level of lists there, 100%. So I'm not going to fault anybody that's coming along and playing it. There's some tough lists there, and there's some really, really top players playing in the event. But with just already with those couple of tweaks that Games Workshop have done, the power level of the lists is still strong, but the general overall look of those lists doesn't look so stupid. There are some exceptions. We're still going to see some lists that don't potentially look beautiful on the table, but there's a lot more, I would say, more nice to look at armies. And for me, that's what it's all about. I quite like that. You can have a really ridiculously powerful army, but I want it to look cinematic and look thematic on the table. Personally, that's just my. So I'm excited to see these 8th edition tables. What have we got here? I'm sure I saw MDF ones. Yeah, you probably did. You probably did. So yes, so that's kind of what we're likely to see at the Northwest Open. We're likely to see those lists, and those are the units that we've seen lots of. Some things that I thought were quite interesting to share with you. So, no Riptides, very little Grav. I was going to say no Grav, but then I did spot a couple of lists that have got some Grav in, but basically little to no Grav, no Riptides, very few drop pods, no scat bikes, and that, I think, is the funny thing. So yes, the meta is not completely fixed, but those powerful units, it just shows in the space of 2 months the tables are going to look very, very different. Not many Wraith Knights either. There might only be one Wraith Knight, might not be any actually. Is there much Eldar? So there is 2, or is there? I think there's actually only 1 pure Eldar army, but there's quite a lot of Ynnari lists that are a combo of Eldar and Harlequins, or Eldar and Dark Eldar, or you get the message anyway. So, but I think there's only 1 There's only one Eldar, purely Eldar list. An Ari, or what it's called. Eldari. Craft World. That's what they're calling themselves these days. So yes, so Eldarin are very, very different. They're just a different looking force now, which is interesting. Yeah, no riptides. You have to laugh. You do, and I've probably got more riptides than a lot of people, but I think it's hilarious. It's awesome, and actually, I'm quite looking forward to playing with my riptides again, but just playing them in a different way, because actually I've seen them played now, and they're still quite a powerful unit. You just need to moderate the way that you play them, and they're still extremely resilient. You just play them differently. They're not, they're not the best unit, but they're not terrible. And they still have a place, I think, particularly and they're such cool models. Riptides are wicked looking. We all got bored of them because we saw them all over the place, but a Riptide is still a wicked looking model. So I don't care. I don't care the fact I've got loads that are fairly redundant. I think it's good fun, and it's nice to see a change, and we all want to see different things on the table. So as a Tau player, I'm fine with that. I'm less fine with the fact for me to build a competitive Tau army, it looks like I need to go out and buy half a dozen more commanders, which I'm not going to do. But the meta will settle down, and it's all good. Aha, got a few more people. Will's in here. Scragguard's in here. What? Julian's in here. What the hell? What's going on? It's 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. We've suddenly got a massive load of people in, but there we go. But thank you anyway. Thank you for joining us, guys. Appreciate it. The show starts at 10 o'clock, but nice you to drop in at 10 to 11. So you've missed all the good stuff, and I'm not going to go over it again because we've had a very in-depth chat about all the lists. We talked about your list in depth. We broke it down. We discussed how to beat it. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, I wouldn't do that. As I said, so basically, what we've been in a nutshell, if you have only just joined us, because there seems the whole world has just joined us, we've just been discussing the Northwest Open, and I've just been going through some facts and figures around what sort of units we're finding a lot of, and what sort of units that there aren't so many of. I've not talked about what people's lists look like, because that would be totally unfair, but I have talked about just some fun facts. And as I said, one of the big things that I thought was really interesting was that the number one unit, the most played unit in the Northwest Open, is going to be the Autocannon Dreadnought, which I thought is crazy. Crazy stuff. But there you go. Loads of questions come through, loads of people saying hello, so notifications only just got pushed out. That's not good, is it? That is useless. Just got notifications just received. YouTube, dear gods. Well, I'm sorry guys, I can't help that. I did put it on my Facebook page 2 hours ago to let you know it'd be starting at 10, but apologies you didn't get there. Hello Johnny. Hello Craig. Shane. Julian. Appreciate you all joining. So sorry you've only just got notifications. You'll have to watch the majority of the show on Watchback. Because we blame you. Of course you do. Who is that? Is that Sean or is that Darren? I don't know. Oh, no worries, Craig. But yeah, so anyway, what will be good, I think, rather than us just go over the same show again, because the 5 people that have been in here watching it from the beginning are going to get very, very bored. But what... We've got like 19 people in the chat now. This is like crazy. It is really crazy. But anyway... but anyway, let's really talk about get some questions in. So let's aim them at the Northwest Open. You want to know? Ask me questions about units, about the lists. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you a list exactly, but I will answer questions about the list. So if people are playing in the event, I will give you some little hints, some little juicy little tidbits to get you excited about the event. Gut reaction. Name your faction you think has the Northwest Open win. I think the winner of the Northwest Open will be Dark Eldar. There you go. There you go. Heard it here, there. Look, drop that bombshell. Boom. You got the Facebook one, Dave. Fair enough. There you go. See, dedication. There you go. You can watch it later. Yeah. You've seen now list. What do you think? Looking to win. I think I've just answered that, Craig. Does Northwest Open give out Jaffa cakes? No, it does not. But if you come along, Scrag, we've got a couple of tickets. You know, I'm sure I could give you a pack of Jaffa cakes. Sorry, Nick. Sorry. Are you giving away free candy? No, you're wrong. Am I wrong, Will? Okay. Yay, Dark Elder, love it. Can't have Dark Elder winning. No, I know. But I honestly think as I said, it's just gut feeling. I might be totally wrong. Are Raveners worth using? Yes. Yes. Raveners are really good, actually. Really, really good. And they're maybe outshined by some of the units, but I think there's a lot of room for Raveners. I would arm mine with Death Spitters and Rending Claws and put them in big units and just make them appear and just cause grief. But I actually think Raveners are really good. I really think I'm looking forward to using them. Tried a few armies, and Dark Elder were by far my easiest win. What easiest win? Easiest to play against or easiest to play with? Your easiest win. Carl. Hello, Carl. What's your opinion is the strongest combo at the moment, other than Storm Raven Spam? To be honest, I really don't know. So again, no, I'm not going to give it away, but I think that these autocannon dreadnoughts are there for a reason. It's news to me. And the other thing is Inquisitors. Inquisitors seem like a really powerful unit. Seen so many of them, so they're obviously going to do work. How many lists did Commander spam? 4. Well, yes, you're wrong. It will be Chaos. Chaos have got a shout. There's, as I said, there's at least 2 very strong Chaos armies, potentially 3. Easiest to win with. There you go, Johnny. So yeah, Dark Eldar. Don't underestimate them. If you're on the second floor of the building, a brass scorpion turns its tail to you. The tail reaches the models on the second floor, and the scorpion glass this as close enough to go into combat. Wow, that's a good question, Will. I'd have to look at rules. I wouldn't want to give you a call just on this. I'd have to look at rules and let you know. Don't know. It would be wrong on me to make a snap decision because obviously it's a big deal. My probably gut feeling says no, but I'd need to look at it. Scutari were pretty solid. Ruststalkers are nails. Yeah, very good unit. Very good unit. They're represented. I've seen Ruststalkers. Can't see why not. Okay. Guard infantry all the way. Inquisitors. Yeah, Inquisitors. I think they've got some power that makes them very good. I haven't really looked into them in detail. 22 people watching now. Fantastic. Okay, on the flip, what army do you think will be at the bottom? That's really mean because there's a couple of lists that I think will struggle massively. and I just don't want to say who I think that's going to be. Yeah, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. Yeah, I'm not going to say. I'll write it down and I'll let you know in a couple of weeks' time. The issue is monsters can't climb, but the model reaches, so the infantry under those rules can't climb to avoid the charge. Okay, let me look into it, mate. As I said, I'd have to kind of work it out in my head and look at the wording on there. I assume it's the Terrify spell. Yeah, I think that's one of the ones. And yeah, Chaos at the bottom. Man up and say, make somebody cry. Okay, it's the good guys, one of the good guys' armies. So if you're sitting on the evil side, you know I haven't picked you. If you're taking one of the good guys, then you know that you're maybe, I predict you to be bottom. Imperial Fists seem meh, and Harlequins shocked me being pretty crappy. I don't know. Harlequins seem really good. That's interesting. Interesting take, Johnny. You know my list. What can kick my ass? Quite a lot. Quite a lot. But your list depends on a few factors, Will, to be honest. That I think that's ultimately you need to make sure people don't come down after you because you've got some bubble wrap. But have you got enough bubble wrap? That's going to be the question. You're a smart player. You know how to play it. You'll do really well. But a lot of it's going to come down to luck. And similar sort of drop lists with also beta strike style hits are going to hurt you, and there's a few of those. And also things with good invons. You know, ultimately a lot of your stuff does massive damage, but if they can get that lucky invon save, then potentially you can fizzle out really quick. But don't get me wrong, your list is incredibly good, and will do very well in the tournament, unless you get unlucky. We can word it another way. Outside of the Northwest Open in general competitive scene, what faction do you feel is the weakest? That doesn't necessarily answer the same question. I'm talking massively in code now. But what do I think is the weakest? I think Necrons are... Do I think Necrons are the weakest? That's a really, really good question. I think every army's decent. Really, I think Necrons do struggle a little bit. Guard are decent. Tau are not very good, but they've got certain builds that are incredible. It's really difficult, really difficult. I don't know. I don't know. Who are the good guys in 40k? They're all evil. Yeah, this is true. I have a bet. Oh, here we go. For our battle report, if I win, you admit Jaffa cake is a cake. If I lose, it's a biscuit. If you like, Will. If you like. I expect you to beat me though, so it's not really because I'm just taking some silly stuff. Because I've got to get 3 games in on the Friday. I'm playing you. I'm playing one of my Patreons who's playing in the event, and I'm playing Harry from the Dark Artisan. So I am bringing a list that is quick to play and fun. So I expect you to roll me pretty quick. But You know, if it makes you happy, that's fine. I did fail half my charges. The chat's going mental. There's loads of people in here. What? Necrons are the good guys. Yeah, Rob. I'm playing you. Orc. So orcs, I think their first initial reaction was orcs are really good, but again, I think there's only certain builds that really work with orcs. So we'll see. I think all of the codexes are going to make these armies really good because their basic builds are decent. Every army's good. They just need basically a bit of love to potentially bring them up, but their starting point is solid and good, which is great because there are no real weak armies. Damn, I have to win the LCO now with the Necrons. Two rights. Two right. You better be there, Nick. You had a taste of it now. You need to come back. Yay, it's a cake. Whatever you say. What's the painting categories this year? So it'd be the same categories. So it'll be vehicle, monster, single infantry model, unit, and possibly conversion. I think we're playing. Are we not? Are we playing? Are we playing on the Friday, Rob? I believe. If we're not, that's fine. I thought I'd organised the game with you. If I haven't, as I said, I've got 2 games anyway, so it's fine. But I thought you wanted to play me. But if you don't, that's cool. I really don't mind. It's well good. But I think Friday was the plan. I think all the games are going to have to be on Friday. Well, actually, to be fair, potentially we could play Sunday, which might actually be better. We'll talk offline, Rob. Do you think all the games will reach their natural end? No, not all of them, just the nature of it, but potentially. Conversion category, yeah, man, yeah, Rob, absolutely. I think you'll have some competition though, but your conversions are epic. Do you believe the flyer nerf is good enough to balance the flyers? So no, but the lists show it's doing a good job. And I'm again not going to talk massively amount. In fact, I can talk massively amount. All the lists are in, but there's not that many. There's not a huge weight of flyers. There's a lot of flyers, but there's no. It's not stupid. It's not stupid at all. People have got scared. You're not generally going to see more than 3 flyers in a list as a standard, which is still very good, which is still very powerful. But I can guarantee that's changed dramatically. If you say so, I'm game. I recall now. I bet you do. But maybe we'll do Sunday, Rob. That would be cool. If we can do Sunday, that sounds perfect. How many flyer spam are going? Depends what you call flyer spam. If flyer spam's free flyers, there's quite a lot. If you're talking more than 3, very few, if any. Rob wants an easy win. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't 100% picked my list yet. I thought I'd picked it, but I've changed it slightly. In fact, I might have a couple of lists. I might have a couple of lists, but both of them will be stupid fun lists, and I expect to lose all my games. But I just want to roll some dice and have some fun. Because this tournament is fairly stressful because it's 8th edition. I thought this was meant to be the easiest tournament to run, but I think this is going to be the hardest. But it's going to be a laugh anyway. Where do you get your custom dice made? I can't remember the name of the person that does them for me now. I'll get you a contact if you're interested. Will I generally order them en masse, so I only order them maybe once a year, and I order loads of them because you get them cheap in a batch. So that's why. So then I don't tend to go back for a long time. So it's not a name I remember straight away. What do you think is the closest to being the most OP unit in 8th edition? It's not Chessex, by the way. No, Carl. The Brimstone Horror is the most overpowered unit in 8th edition. 100%. There you go. By far. So I'm going to answer maybe about 2 or 3 more questions. I know there's a load of people that have just come in, and I do appreciate that. But the show's getting quite long now, and a lot of people have been for a long time. So we'll run for another couple of minutes. So I'm not going to shoot off straight away. But there we go. What would you like to see in the Tau and Nid Codex when they drop? Tau, I'd like to see Riptides a little bit better again, not to the extent they were before, but a little bit better, to kind of make them. Maybe they need a points drop. I'm quite happy with their rules, but they maybe just need to be a bit cheaper. I'd like to see that. That does it really for me, to be fair. I like playing Riptides. I like the big robots as cool. Yeah, just some fun relics maybe, some fun little shenanigans. I like an army that looks like an army, and I like suits. Suits has always been my thing. I've always liked suit lists. But just a variation. So broadsides. Broadsides are pretty good anyway. Ghost kills are not bad. Just a way of potentially bringing the points so they seem a little bit more in line with other units. And being able to play in more that style would be cool. And as for Tyranids, I know, because it's been told me very reliably, but you're going to get the almost like chapter tactics for the famous high fleet, so Leviathan, Behemoth and Kraken. So to see what they do is so exciting. So that's what I'm most excited about. Actually getting unique stuff for Tyranids is really, really cool. So that's good. And I'm also looking forward to some more fluff for Tyranids. That'd be cool. Guilliman, yeah, Guilliman's very overpowered as well. But for me, not as overpowered as Brimstone Horrors. Oh, if you remember them, let me know. Yeah, of course I'll let you know, Carl. War of Dice. Hello, I didn't see your name before, so welcome. Finally got on the live show. Can't wait to meet you at No Retreat. Awesome. Haha. You got Necrons. Sweet. With my Necrons. Matt from Oz. Ah, of course. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm half asleep. I'm half asleep, Matt. But yeah, no. Look forward to seeing you again, mate. Cool. It was wicked. I'm looking forward to seeing you Necrons. If you're Nurgle or anything to go by, it'd be cool. And how are your dice going? How are your dice? Are you rolling lots of targets? Hopefully you're playing with those target dice, and they're doing the business for you. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome to see you again, mate. I'm so chuffed you're coming back. GW say, Ace, you may amend or add any rule. What would you? Alright, okay, so if GW gave me the power to change any rule, what rule would I change? That's an awesome question, Will. That's like, absolutely, that's spot on. Wow, that's such a cool question. I think, wow, that's crazy. God, that's going to take some thought. I really don't know. Potentially something around cover. I'm not really loving cover. I think it's a bit tough on vehicles and monstrous creatures. I think they should be able to get cover easier. But I don't know. I don't know. But that's such a good question. I'll give that some thought. If it comes to me, well, I'll tell you by the end of the show. I know we're not running for much longer, but will you be fresh faced and teetotal on Saturday morning? On Saturday morning, yep, absolutely, 100%. Not on Sunday. Good if you want to roll ones. Nick, how dare you? To ignore combating units when targeting characters. Yeah, but I quite like that. You know, it's sort of, it can be a bit stinky, but it's not a bad mechanic just to have that. I've nearly finished your gun rig. Do you want steps on it or not? Whatever looks coolest, Will. Whatever looks coolest. Anyway, guys. Shooting through cover. Yeah, fix that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. Cool. Just leave it another. Any last questions before we call it a night? Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Big thank you goes out to the guys that were here at the beginning. I know the guys that came in later, obviously it's not your fault, but I really do appreciate the guys that stuck in the beginning. All like 2.5 of you. But hopefully you get an opportunity to check out the video afterwards when it goes up and see the beginning of it. But thank you everybody that has jumped in. Oh well, we've got more people coming in here. We've got James. I think it's James from Siege. Hi James. Sunglasses and PJs for the morning. Yeah, that sounds like it. Oh dear, that's standard though, isn't it? But I get told off for that. I'm not allowed to do that anymore, James. I've got to be respectful. Anyway, right. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Really, really do appreciate it. Again, we'll be back next week. I hope we'll be back next week. So next week is the day before I will be going up to Southport. But fingers crossed, all goes well. We'll still hit you up with another Wargaming Weekly next week. If not, I'll give you plenty of notice. I would recommend you check out my Facebook page because I will always put some sort of notification of this coming up. So those of you that saw that were probably the first ones that are on this evening. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. And until next week, we'll see you again soon. All the best. Thank you very much. Bye for now.